Hey friend, my cabin stewards are always asking me, are you getting off the ship today? And I'm like, nope. Today we're here in beautiful Catalina Island, right there behind me. And another question that people ask me all the time is, what kind of camera are you using? What kind of selfie stick? Are you using a selfie stick when you film? How much clothes do you bring with you when you go sailing? So in this video, I'm going to answer all of those questions regarding what I own, what I carry. If you are thinking about living full-time on cruise ships, some of the things that you need to consider before packing your bags. And maybe you're not interested in living full-time on cruise ships like me, but you're still wondering how can you pack lighter or more efficiently when you are going on cruises. So in this video, I'm going to show you everything that I own while living full-time on cruise ships. And I'm going to break it down for you in what I absolutely need, because there was one point where I was where I only had carry-on and only had the essentials. I'm going to show you what I can't live without, which means it's not really a necessity. It's just something I'm not going to live without. And then I'm going to also show you some things that are just nice to have. I don't need it. You don't need it. But I have it anyway because I want it. And also, if you are a content creator, if you stick around, I'm going to show you how you can get my list of everything that I use to create content, and all of my equipment, all of my gear, what I use and what I use it for. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Hey y'all, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I'm Linnell. I sold everything and now I live on cruise ships full time. If this video is a blessing to you, I want to encourage you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on notifications. Hit the bell for all notifications so that you never ever miss another video. And follow me on my journey from poverty to paradise. I decided to do this video because lately I've met quite a few people who say they're now living full-time on cruise ships. They know someone who is, or they've been inspired by my videos and they're planning to sell everything and start this lifestyle themselves. And since we're heading into the end of the year, when everyone's making their New Year's resolutions and getting ready to eye those Black Friday deals, I thought this would be the perfect time to give you a peek into what you might want to add to your luggage before your next cruise. I'm going to show you exactly what I carry with me. First, I'm going to go over all my essentials, those things that are absolute necessities before you ever step aboard a cruise ship. Then I'm going to move into my must-haves, the things that you might not find essential, but for me, they're essential. They're necessities to me, and I can't live without those things. And finally, I'm going to share a few nice-to-haves. Those I don't really need that stuff, but I'm carrying it with me anyway because it's going to make my life at sea even better. And if you're a content creator, I made a separate members only video where I'm going to go over everything that I own that's related to YouTube. The cameras, the tech, the gear, and what I actually use versus what I could live without. You can, if you're already a member, then you already have access to that video. If you're not already a member, then you can just click the join button, which is right next to my channel, right next to the channel name, and you can join and watch the video over there. All right, so let's start with the essentials that you must have before getting on board a cruise ship. First, you're going to need a passport. You'll need a physical copy, and you should take pictures, and I email them to myself, so I'll always have a copy, access to copies of my important documentation. You can have a birth certificate and state ID, but I don't recommend that if you're going to be living full-time on cruise ships. Of course, you're going to need your cruise document, so you know your boarding pass. You can print a physical copy, but I usually just have the copy that's on my phone. Carnival requires for you to either print a physical copy, or when you get to the port, they will print a copy for you. But yeah, for Carnival, you do have to have a printed copy. So I would say for your first few, like when I first did this to start living full-time on cruise ships, I knew that I was going to be on my next however many cruises until I got back to back to Georgia. So all of my cruises that I could go ahead and print out the boarding pass for, I printed those out in advance. I probably had like 20 or 30 boarding passes with me. So just print out as many as you can. For Royal Caribbean, I just take a screenshot of those boarding passes. I don't have to print those out. If you prefer physical copies, you don't need to carry a printer with you, because say like you don't have them available now, but then once you're on the ship, you'll be able to log into the computer and work on getting your next boarding pass. And if you're going to do luggage tags also. So once you're on the ship, most ships have either printers. There's a business center on the ship where you can use the printer, or if not, then you can go to guest services and ask them to print it out for you. I would say always try and have your boarding pass, unless it's a back-to-back cruise, which you don't need to worry about it at all. But if you're going to a new cruise, try and print those out or have the copy on your phone screenshot ahead of time. Also, if you stay in hotels in between cruises, then you'll most certainly have access to printers there. Also, you need to have your travel insurance policy. If you're a casual cruiser, then I would consider getting the ship's travel insurance. If you're going to cruise often, I would just get an annual plan. I have an annual plan with Alliance, and I have the executive plan. It cost me, I bought it back in February, it cost me $510, and it covers me up to $250,000 of insurance. Different coverage for different parts of the plan, but yeah, you can go online and check and see all the details and see if it's going to meet what you need or not. You'll also want to have a planner. That could be a physical one like this one that I have here. I used to just plan my stuff in the computer on Excel. Now I use this actual planner here. Or you can use some kind of tracking app. There's lots of apps out there that you can also just use on your phone to track. And basically you want to have that so you can keep track of all your cruises, your hotels in between cruises, your transportation, so your flights, your trains, all that good stuff that you have to book in advance. Of course, you want to bring your medicines if you have any, whether you have prescription medications and or you just want to bring over, I would recommend it at minimum having basic over-the-counter pain relief medicine, something for upset stomachs, things like that. The thing that you find yourself using mostly on land is probably the same kind of medicine that you're going to use on the cruise ships. Don't bring too much. People get sick all over the world, and you can replenish either on the cruise ship or in port if you do need to use some and then replenish it. You want to, of course, have some credit cards and debit cards with no foreign transaction fees. I recommend a minimum of 3 credit cards and a minimum of 3 ATM/debit cards. I also always recommend that you keep a small amount of cash just for emergencies in case something unexpected happen. Or also I keep cash for if I'm going out to cruise ports, and some of the vendors out there, they're not going to accept credit cards, so I might just want to, I don't know, I don't buy souvenirs, but maybe I need to replace my baseball cap or I don't know, sunscreen or jacket. One time my jacket got stolen. I had to buy another one. I bought it on the ship. But I'm just saying, there might be some things that you might have to purchase unexpectedly, and you might not be able to use a credit card or a debit card for it, and so you want to keep just some extra cash. So here's a tip that I do. Instead of replenishing any cash that I use by going to the ATM and getting ATM fees, because everywhere is going to have ATM fees, right? Some of the cards that you have might reimburse you, but if they don't, what I do is I wait until the ship goes back out to sea. I just go to the casino and charge whatever amount of cash that I need. Just charge it to a slot machine. Don't play the slot machine. Just charge it. It's going to charge your credit card. Once the money is on the machine, cash out, take that same amount, $100, $200, whatever, go over to the machine where you cash out your regular casino winnings and just take the cash off there. Your credit card's going to be charged, and then I do it that way, one, so I don't have to pay ATM fees, and also I can keep track of my cash withdrawals. along with my other expenses. So like at the end of the month, well, it's really the beginning of the following month. So like November, I'll go back and download all of my credit card expenses for October, and I can see, oh, I pulled out cash from this. When I use the, what is it called? When I use the slot machine, when I charge the slot machine, I can see how much cash I actually got out for that trip. Okay, back to the list. And just so you know, most of these items are available on Amazon, so I put a link in the video description if you want to quickly see their description and how much any of these items cost. Of course, I need my phone and charger. That's a given. I've switched these a few times, but you either are going to need headphones, earphones, or wireless earbuds for listening to things on, I use it for listening to things on my laptop, listening to Netflix on my tablet, or things on my phone, and that's including sometimes when there's noise outside my cabin and I need to, I've downloaded an app on my phone and on my laptop that's just white noise. So sometimes I'll plug in my earless buds, my wireless buds and just go to bed with that on so I don't hear the noise outside. If you work remotely, of course, you're going to need a laptop or a tablet and the charger. I prefer to use my laptop for paying my bills and other things outside of work. So, yeah, so even though my work now is just, you know, my part-time YouTube stuff that I do, I still use my laptop. Also, I prefer to pay certain bills that I have. I prefer to do it on my laptop than on my phone. That's just a preference. For all those electronics, of course, you're going to need to have a universal adapter because not all the cruise ships have US outlet plugs, and you're not going to be able to charge your phone or your other electronics on those if they have the European plugs. So make sure you have a universal adapter. Luggage as a necessity. For this section, I'm only including a carry-on spinner. If you plan on only having what you need, this is the only luggage that you're going to need. But you're going to see that I carry more than that. A carry-on spinner suitcase will hold everything that's in this necessity category. Your toiletries, so that could be whatever you use, right? The main stuff, toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, shampoo, razor, anything else, lotion, whatever you consider your toiletries. Remember, just get enough just to get you through, because you can always replenish either on the cruise ship, which might be a little bit more expensive, or at port stops. Along with toiletries, you're also going to need to bring any specific hair products that you use. I typically keep my hair braided, but I do sometimes have items that I keep with me for when I wear my hair natural. And of course, I have a few hair bonnets. As far as clothing, I would suggest 7 outfits. That's the minimum that I have. And I suggest having items that are wrinkle-free and that you can mix and match the tops and the bottoms. Just make sure that you have enough clothes to wear for 1 week. Whether you decide to hand wash, or if you're going to use the laundry rooms on the cruise ships, or if you're going to use the onboard ships, if you're going to use the ship's laundry on board, use their services. Make sure that you have at least, I would say, enough for 1 week. You don't really need more than that because you're more than likely you're going to wash your clothes every week. Underwear, though, I say make sure you have at least enough for 10 days because you never know what's going to happen. But I mean, can you really have too much underwear? If your trips are going to include long flights or train rides like mine sometimes do, I will also include a pair of compression socks, and be sure to put those on before those type of trips. Comfortable shoes. For me, I have 1 pair of sneakers and I have a pair of waterproof sandals. Also, I'm thinking of switching over my sneakers to waterproof sneakers. I didn't know that that was a thing. I haven't decided what brand yet. So if you have a pair that you use that's waterproof and they're comfortable and reasonably priced, I am on a budget. Will you please let me know in the comments? Again, that's something that I'm thinking of changing, and I'm just not sure which one to change to. For necessities, I suggest you bring at least 1 bathing suit because you're going to want to go to the beach or get in a hot tub, and a lightweight jacket or a cardigan. I actually have 2 jackets. I have this one hoodie type here that I bought on Carnival, and I also have this purple one, which technically is a rain jacket, but I can also layer it with this other jacket here to keep me warm, and a belt if you use one. The last two items that I consider necessities, like absolute, you have to have these, would be a compact umbrella and a refillable water bottle. After living 1 year full time on cruise ships, I can guarantee that you don't need more than this, but I can also guarantee that you will want more than this. So let's move on over to my other must-haves, things that, listen, you might not consider them a necessity, but I need them. I want them. I'm not going on a ship without them. All right, first up is my blue backpack because I have all this stuff that I added. So, of course, I need more room to put this stuff. My blue collapsible stool. Listen, if you know, you know. I will go with less clothes before I go without this. My water pick, this helps me with flossing and was recommended by my dentist, so it's something that for me it's a need. This trip backpack, I use this for multiple things, but mainly for when I go ashore and I have to replenish my toiletries and medicines. I also use it to carry my blue stool when I'm not using it, and I throw in any groceries that I pick up, just throw it all in that backpack. So I guess you can call it my reusable shopping bag, which a lot of people use reusable shopping bags. But I like this better, of course, because it's a backpack, and when I'm not using it, I can fold it up and put it in my other backpack or in my carry-on luggage. You also want to get some kind of laundry detergent. Getting the strips like these, avoid having to worry about limits on liquids, but sometimes I'll still grab a small pack of pods just because I like them and I like the smell of them. And sometimes I'll get the little miniature liquids. But yeah, you need something to do your laundry. Even if you're going to have the ship do your laundry for you, there might be sometimes where you have something that's just a stain, or the ship laundry service is not getting it as clean as you want it to be, and you might want to hand wash something that's delicate. So I would say just, keep a little bit of extra laundry detergent. You only need one universal adapter, but I carry two because I would be beside myself if I only had one and it stopped working, which happened to a friend of mine, Miss Monica, when we were over in Vietnam. She could have went and just bought another one, but listen, I'm on cruise ships. I can't just stop what I'm doing and just go to the store and pick up what I need. For the most part, when I'm on cruise ships, when I do happen to check, they do sell them on cruise ships. So I'm not really worried about just having one. But it would be my luck that the time that mine breaks, that'll be the one cruise ship that don't have another one. So I'm always going to carry two with me. I also carry a small hand towel, and I just use that for various things, but mainly I started carrying one when I went over to Spain, to Barcelona, and for some reason those people don't use washcloths. They had them, but I had to go down to the lobby to get them, and sometimes they didn't have them available. I guess they weren't clean or whatever. So now I just bring my own washcloth, and of course I can just wash it out. This red thing is a sling that holds a water bottle and a cell phone. I had a purple one that I absolutely loved, and it broke, and I cried. I got this one here on Carnival Forenzi, but I'm definitely gonna replace it with that purple one that I had before once I get a chance to reorder it. I don't like this one, the way it's designed, but I still have to have a sling, or I want to have a sling when I go on my walks to hold my water bottle and my cell phone. So yeah, of course, that's important to me. Of course, I want my watch to help me track my steps, and I have these two door alarm stops. Now, this is not essential to living full-time on cruise ships, but it's important to me during this journey because, one, when I lived on land, I love keeping my front door open and letting the breeze come through and being able to say hi to neighbors when they walk by. So Now that I live full time on cruise ships, sometimes I do the same, kind of, right? The same. I don't feel like leaving my cabin sometimes, and I might just sit in the cabin and watch TV. But I want to just have that feeling and know that there's other people around. So occasionally, I will, prop open the door, and when, some of my neighbors walk by, just say hi to them, and also kind of get some of the fresh air out of the cabin because I'm like right now I'm in an interior cabin, right? I also put batteries in both of them when I am in my hotel rooms, just as a safety precaution, being a solo female traveler. It's not gonna wake up anybody, but if someone wants to open the door, the alarm is gonna go off. So one is giving me peace of mind, and also if someone wants to do something, they're gonna do it. But I would think that the alarm going off from that will give them pause, and they're gonna be like, nah, I don't want to go. I don't want to deal with whatever's on the other side of this door. So I just have peace of mind having it there. Um, I keep a word search book to keep my mind active, but I stay so busy. I don't even use this book as much as I should. I got this pink Anchor portable charger while I was over in Vietnam. I didn't think they sold it on Amazon, but I actually found it. So the link is in the video description. The blue crossbody sling on the bottom of the screen is a slash-proof bag that I keep things in when I'm walking through ports. I first got it because I heard that there are a lot of pickpocketers in Barcelona, and some people that I traveled with some people that were on the cruise with me, they experienced that. So just knowing that if someone tried to do a slash and grab with this gave me peace of mind because it has metal wires inside of it, which would prevent them from just grabbing it and running off. They might slash it and mess it up, but the wires is going to be hard for them to pull it away from my body. I also have this little pink birdie thing. So when I'm walking through a crowd of people, just out of habit, which I've done a few times over in Barcelona, mainly when I was over on the train and when I was on the buses. So when I walk through, I have my sling, but I keep my hand on the birdie, which if something was to happen, and nothing ever did, but if something was to happen and my bag gets separated from me, it's going to also make this screeching noise, loud screeching noise. So, I mean, it's not going to stop somebody from doing what they're going to do, but it's definitely going to attract attention. And again, nothing has ever happened with me, so, I'm fine. I think the precautions that I take as far as where I'm going, the time of day that I go, I'm pretty safe. Knock on wood. The pink bag is just some miscellaneous items, my lipstick, mascara, some razors, and then this packing cube here. I have some wigs, some headbands, and other hair products that I don't want to live without. I could live without them. They're not necessities, but I don't want to live without them. So far, everything that I've listed are things that I would not want to live full-time on cruise ships without. I used to just travel with just a carry-on and a backpack, but since I started adding electronics for content creation, I needed way more room in my luggage, so I decided to add this check bag. With that, of course, comes a few things that I need because now everything that I own is not with me at all times, and it's more to carry. So I'll explain with those things in just a sec, but I just want to remind you, as I stated earlier, if you want to see all the gear that I carry for content creation, head on over to the membership page and check that out. Okay, so next are the things that I added, but honestly, I don't need none of this. I can live without these things, but I just choose not to. Some of these things I bought while I was in port or while I was in a cruise port or over in Vietnam, but most of it I got over on Amazon, so you can check out the link in the video description if you want to just see the description for these items or see how much they cost. First would be the obvious, and that's the luggage tags. When I check this big bag, I put these tags on it. Also now in this bag, and also I keep it in my carry-on bag too, is Bluetooth trackers that I keep on them, so if something was to happen, I'll be able to locate where they're at. I also keep these luggage straps so I can hook on my carry-on bag to my check bag, and I can also put my backpack on my carry-on bag, so that lets me drag everything with one hand, especially if it's a smooth floor like at the airport or on the sidewalk. I keep this wristlet here mainly. What I do is I keep my earbuds in it, and I also, on cruise ships, I remove the gratuities from my account, and then I get that amount in cash. And then as I'm going around the ship, I hand out tips to, of course, my cabin steward. I normally give my cabin steward $5 a day. So if it's a 4-day cruise, I just give them $20. 5-day cruise, 25, all that good stuff. But also, um, I keep in this wristlet bag, I'll keep ones, fives, and tens. So as I'm getting service around the ship, I can easily just leave someone who gives me good service. I can just give them a tip. This is a set of camping plates, bowls, forks and spoons and knives. And again, I don't need it. I just, when I'm in hotels, sometimes I just forget to get a plate. I don't feel like going downstairs to the lobby because the breakfast place is closed. Or one time I was over at a hotel and they didn't even have any plates and stuff, or I forget the specifics of it. But anyway, I was in, I think I was in San Pedro. Is that the city in California where Royal Caribbean sails from? Anyway, they didn't have any restaurants around there. Well, I wasn't familiar with them and it was getting dark, so I didn't want to go too far. I got a sandwich from Subway for lunch, and they didn't serve breakfast at that hotel either. So I was going to have the other half of the sandwich for breakfast. But for dinner, I just went to this convenience store and got some ravioli. And so I was able to, open up the can, warm it up, have my fork, spoon, plate, everything that I needed so I would be able to eat. So yeah, again, not something that I need, not something that, it's definitely something I can live without, but I choose not to. This folding laundry hamper is what I keep my dirty clothes in. Yep, I can just put them in a pile on the floor or in the closet or on the other bed that I don't use, so it's not a necessity, but I like it. My Star of the Seas cap. I don't really hang out in the sun for long periods of time, but when I do, if I go to the beach or on excursions, then I bring this cap along. I used to have another one before I had this Star of the Seas, but now that's my favorite ship, so. This here is a 10-foot HDMI cable. I can't use it on Carnival ships, but I can use it on Royal Caribbean ships, and when I'm in hotels, I can attach it to TVs and I can watch my Netflix movies on the bigger screen. Of course, I don't need this, but this pillow comes in handy on flights, and I used it on the Amtrak train when I was in coach and I wanted to sleep. It helped me not get a crick in my neck. These magnetic hooks so I can display things on the wall. The last time I returned to Georgia, I got rid of every hard copy of photographs that I had, and now they are all in the cloud. That was a hard thing for me to do, by the way. But yeah, I can display all of my photos here on this digital picture frame. Now, this particular one, you do need to have Wi-Fi with it in order to use it. I thought about the other ones that you don't need Wi-Fi for. They were less expensive, but also they didn't hold as much. And I'm 54, so you can imagine I had a lot of pictures of kids, grandkids, family, friends, all kinds of memories that I had, and I just didn't want to get rid of any of them. So this right here gives me unlimited storage. And yeah, sometimes I can't use it if I don't have access to Wi-Fi, but those times that I do have access to Wi-Fi, I know I have all my pictures and they'll be with me for the rest of my life. So again, not a necessity, not something I can't live without, but I choose to live with it. I showed having one bathing suit with the Necessities, but I also have a second bathing suit, which is not necessary, but I like it. The blue one I got off of Amazon. The pink flowered one, I got that over in a shop in a market over in Vietnam. Along with that is this beach bag full of stuff that I absolutely don't need. But I love this beach floaty thing, and these little beach shoes, my personalized towel, Saints towel, and my Saints beach bag. I have a set of goggles. I have a can of sunscreen. Again, I don't go in the sun for long periods of time. I have this beach chair towel holder that I was given when I was on Star of the Seas. And I have this portable fan, which is more like it has an AC control and just the fan. I got this over in Vietnam, which is super handy when you're walking on long hot excursions. And then I have my phone pouch with, it lets me bring my phone, my ship card, credit card, and I can even hold a little bit of cash in that whenever I'm going to the beach or the pool, and I don't have to worry about my stuff getting wet. And the last few things, I don't need none of this, but I bring it anyway, are a luggage scale, a back scratcher, a couple of small lint rollers, a life straw, and some lanyards, which I use to keep my, of course, I can't be adding souvenirs, shot glasses and refrigerator magnets and all that stuff. I might grab one or two if it really stands out to me, like the magnets especially. But these are considered my souvenirs. So I keep my ship cards on my lanyards as my souvenirs. And it's a good reminder of my journey. I like to look at them. And then I have a couple of bags here with just miscellaneous, I call them my kitchen sink drawer. I actually have a sink stopper, which I have used, miniature sewing kit, super glue, a little small pair of scissors, things like that. Another thing that I have that I absolutely don't need, but I absolutely love it, it's this magnetic refrigerator shelf that I think you're supposed to use it for like spices and things and put it on your refrigerator, but the walls here are magnetic. And if I ever was to settle down somewhere, there's holes in it that you can screw it into the wall. But yeah, I use this. It's really convenient for me. I was thinking I was gonna use it for something else, like put it outside my cabin door. And sometimes I'm carrying a plate with my food, a small saucer with my dessert, and I got a cup with my drink in it. And then how am I gonna get my cabin key out to open this door? That would be convenient. Just I saw someone else have it outside their door, and I was like, "Oh, I could get one of those and put my cup in it. Then I can have my free hand." I still got to get a work around that because people be stealing stuff. So I would like really be pissed if someone stole that from there. So I was like, nah, let me find something in the cabin for it. But now I use it for my medications, and it is super handy. I sometimes I have forgotten to take my medicine. I never forget to take my medicine now. Every night is right there, boom, bam, before I go to bed. And it's super easy because it clears up some space on the little tables the little nightstands that they give us. So now I have that space for my cell phone and some other things that I keep there. So yeah, I absolutely love this little shelf, and it's probably gonna be added to. It's right now it's one of them things where I don't really need this, but it's probably gonna be added to. It's not a necessity, but I'm not gonna live without it because I absolutely love it. So what did I miss? I know you have some. Wait a minute, where's this and why doesn't she have it? I know you got some of those on your list. If you watched until the end, put a ship emoji in the comments so I know you saw it all the way to the end. And do me a favor and let me know what is not on this list that is a must-have that I don't bring. Maybe I need to add it to my stash, something that I didn't realize that's something that I can't live without. If you're a content creator, I'll see you over on the other video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you on the next cruise.